Told y'all this was a movement. Taking over our ways. You dig? Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. East to west, we getting banked down. North to south, we getting banked down. Worldwide, we getting banked down. Yeah. One time for the team that's gon' hustle for the green. All we know is grind till the dough come. This debate that radio show, we controlling the globe, but we second to no one. Every time we emerge, we putting that work in. Bank that, do it for the culture. Putting on for the city that's 24/7. And we showing love like we supposed to. And we keep making moves by coastal. None of those suckers didn't believe, but I told you. Bank that about to be a household name. And bank that mean when you pop more change. You don't even know just how I really get. You're rocking with the best, so tuned in when you better be. Plus, you're getting fancy like Nancy on every single day of the week. And chopping game like a Cherokee. Ballin' like Odell, tryna step more meal. Networking every way, it's about to be a movie. Gotta go big, it's the only way to do it. It's a conglomerate, we getting to it. Plus we got heat for the streets while you puffin' on the cook shop leaf. Riding out on the interstate, we got indies and majors. We international players, all about getting paid. Make sure to tune in and tap in with the movement, cause it's about to go down. Shout out Discover, this captain of the mothership. If you ain't know, then you know now. We about to get bang. That radio show. Slow shout
I
out, go.
can't stand you sometimes.
All right, y'all. We're tuning in for another episode of Bank That Radio Show. I am your host, Andreas, and we have via Zoom our guest for today, Miss Georgia Nubia. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. So let's see. Jeremy turned me on to you and said you were a fantastic photographer. But looking at your page, I see that you do seems like you do a little bit more than just photography. It seems like you're a very artistic person. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah, I do poetry, photography, and I paint and make jewelry
Okay,
and stuff. Yeah.
that's what's up. So all artistic things. So give us some background. So like, what got you inspired in being artistic like that, but then also making it a career?
So I kind of like started writing poetry when I was in middle school. It
Hmm.
was like my way to communicate with my mom, and it just became a thing. But it was also like the more I looked deeper into it, it was kind of like my mom led me into doing it because like with Black History programs in church and stuff, she always
Yeah.
made me be like Phyllis Wheatley or Gwendolyn Brooks or someone like that. So poetry kind of was like the thing that was given to me by the grace of Black History and my mom. And so I continued to do it. And as I got older, I tried to do like be in relationships and all that stuff. And kind of didn't work out. So I wanted to live my dream. I didn't have anything else. I had dropped out of college and I
Hmm.
really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at all. So I kind of turned to all of my talents and
Hmm.
I started doing poetry and decided to move back to Charleston. And I did it first time on stage and I loved it. So I kept doing it and I met a guy named Khalid and
Hmm.
he became like my poetry mentor to help me pave the way. And eventually I just said, you know what? I don't have nothing else to lose. I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I was working at Lids. It was my favorite job. And after a while, after doing it for about 3 years here, 4 years actually, I think it's been a little bit longer than that here in
Hmm.
Charleston. Um, People love my poetry. I didn't like. I don't even know how else to put it. Like I kind of did this for myself, like therapy for myself, to kind of like
Hmm.
lift myself out of dark places and to help just grow as a woman. And I had no idea that so many people would enjoy it. So that's how I got into making earrings. I needed to have merchandise so people could support me. And, my mentor told me, have merchandise, I can do poetry for free, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it just, man, I don't know. It just became a thing and I ran with it. I'm just pushing all my talents.
So where
And
where did the photography step in at then, as far as you being able to do that?
I was in high school. I took an art class, and at the time, I couldn't draw or paint or do any of that. So they gave us
Mm-hmm.
as photography as an option to take the class. And so I fell in
Mm-hmm.
love with nature photography. I started taking pictures of different things, like flowers and like macro photography. I like the closeness of things. So I started doing it and got into it like that. But then I became like I like faces. I like people. So I started like taking pictures of people because people asked me to. I didn't realize it was something that I actually could be good at or make money from. It was just something I was having fun with. And people would stop me and ask me to take their pictures, or when I did take their pictures, they would want to keep them, so they would pay me for them. So it kind of became
Mm-hmm.
like it was almost like an accidental, like
Yeah.
yeah, it was like an accidental thing. Like somebody gave me a camera and I went from there. I was just like, hey, let's go.
And you've been doing like this for you said like the last 3, 4 years.
Yeah, I quit my job last year in April. So
Okay.
last year, April,
Congratulations.
thank you. So last year is when I fully stepped into, I guess, completely believing in myself. But I moved
Mm-hmm.
back to Charleston in 2016. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I became Georgia Nubia probably like 2018. My real name is
Mm-hmm.
Naisha Henry, but Georgia Nubia is my business, is Georgia Nubia LLC. And so I do all of my business up under there. I have
So how did you come across the name? Like what inspired the name of the business?
Oh, I was working at Books a Million, and
Mm-hmm.
my old boss Dan Bolden. We were
Mm-hmm.
standing outside smoking a cigarette at the time, to be honest, and I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out, like, I don't know what to do as far as sticking with a name. And Los the host, he would always call me Georgia. So I wanted to do something. I wear like African skirts and stuff because it's comfortable and I think it's cute. But I couldn't figure out words. And I had said it's new to be her, like it's new to be Georgia. I had to change
Mm-hmm.
like a whole lot about myself. So it's new to be her. And Dan was standing there and we just kept saying new to be her. And he was just like Nubia, Georgia Nubia. So is Georgia new to be her, Georgia Nubia, and that's kind of like that's how it happened.
That's dope. So when you decided to quit your job, your immediate circle, how did they feel about that? Like, were there any fears projected onto you from them, or?
Yeah, um, yeah. I had a couple of people to tell me that I was straight up stupid to quit my job because I needed like it was just like, well, what are you gonna do now? And I was just like, I'll
uh,
figure it out. Like,
yeah.
I sell my artwork, I sell my poetry, I sell my books.
Hmm.
I figured out. I just feel like if I believe in me, I can do it. I know I can. I mean, I got hustler's ambition. Where I'm from, I learned how to make money in different ways other than a job. So
Hmm.
I know I can do it. Like it
Yeah.
does get scary though. Like it get hard. Like sometimes
Hmm.
I might not get my rent money until like the day before rent is due. It get hard, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, why did I do this to myself? But
Yeah.
I feel like it's worth it. I feel like I don't know. Even
It
if I don't,
is. I
I
could
don't
tell
know.
you firsthand experience is worth it. I quit my job back in 2013 with, at that particular time, I think we had 5 kids, and it was in December. It's like December 3rd or something like that. So it was Christmas
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
and
See, I don't
never
even
looked
have
back.
kids.
But
Like
yeah,
to
well, at
quit
least you
with
don't have
5
that.
kids, I probably would have been
Yeah,
like, I don't know. But see, I don't even
but
have kids. I'm
I
34,
had
so it's just
I
like,
had
what else?
people. I had people tell me that they don't think I should have done that or whatever. But I was like, y'all don't understand. I went into the workforce knowing that I was going to leave anyway.
Yeah,
I've never been like, I'm saying, that type of individual who always had to rely on the security of a week to
of
week
a
or
job.
bi-weekly
Yeah,
check or whatever. So I've always done other things, like you said, hustler's mentality, and then learning how to scope that into a business mentality, because the hustler's mentality is different from the business mentality.
yeah. And I
No.
definitely I'm learning because I really don't know a
Mm-hmm.
lot about business at all. I'm not even gonna stunt. I didn't go to school for this. This is just me pushing
Uh-huh.
my talents and taking the stuff I learned from the streets and combining it. So like I be
Mm-hmm.
listening to people when they teach me stuff. I'm like, I got my notebook. I'm gonna write this down and I'm gonna do it. Like if somebody give me great advice, I try it. Like I got a
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine, Lisa Gonzalez. She was just like, she gave me a great idea with my artwork, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Or like this
Mm-hmm.
morning, a friend of mine up here, his name is the O. He's an artist here in
Mm-hmm.
Charleston. He gave me some great advice. So I'm like, okay, let me pencil that in and write that down because if people
Mm-hmm.
know more than you, just use the knowledge that they have and apply it. Like I don't know
Yeah,
everything.
And that's the thing I try to teach a lot of folks. When I have, I think, 7 businesses now, and they're all at various stages or whatever. Like I actually just left my counseling business to come here to this office. So I was sitting there working on some stuff, making sure payroll is handled and all that stuff, things of that nature for everybody. 'Cause, people gotta get paid. But then to be able to build something and take your vision and turn it into something that's tangible. And that's what it is. The most thing to being successful in business is just being consistent. Everything else, what I'm saying, you learn.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes, like, you have ideas where you want to put them out there, but, if you don't execute them and stay on top of the ideas, then you can't get the feedback. And I tell people, like, my definition of failure is not achieving something. The definition of failure is not trying. So as long as you like carry that mentality with you, like just try it. Just try it. If it's new, try it. You never know. If you don't hit the markers of what you want to go for, then that's a learning opportunity to see what went right and what went wrong. Like
Yeah.
one of my goals for last year, I have an app with the Big Dot Radio Show, and I wanted to do 1,000. I launched it last year in February. I wanted to do 1,000 downloads. Right, I got to 989 officially last year. So I was yeah, 11 away. So it wasn't a failure. It was a learning experience. But yeah, I almost hit my goal.
Yeah,
So, you know
yeah.
what I'm
I mean,
saying? So
it's the
that's
almost as like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I know I did a
yeah.
poetry video. I always said I wanted to be a button poet, but I wanted to like
Hmm.
go over where they are and do the poetry. But I did a poetry video, and I wasn't a winner, but I was a semi-finalist in their 2020 button poetry video contest. So I
Hmm.
still got featured on their website and on their
Hmm.
platform and everything. And it was that video on their platform that got me the goal where I wanted to get like over 100K views. That video on their
Hmm.
platform got it. And I was just like, hey, I got it. I got it, so I can't do nothing but be proud of myself. The fact that I took a chance, and
Yeah, and
I,
that's what it's
I
all
feel
about. You
like
got
I
to keep taking
won.
those. Yeah, you did in essence because you introduced yourself to a broader audience, and that's the
Yeah,
goal. Like
yeah.
you want to be able to make your income, and I don't know what your goals, your business goals are. If you want to use your business as a situation where you're just, replacing your income, or do you want to turn it into a situation where you end up hiring folks and putting them on payroll? I'm like, there's two totally different ways that you approach that business
Yeah,
strategy.
I never even thought about that. Like, I was like, I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
saying,
I'm like, I hope that's not a question because I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I'm saying, it's just stuff to think about. Whatever, like you said, you're still young in your business career.
Yeah.
Me, I'm considered a seasoned veteran or whatever. I've been doing business officially since 2005 or 2006, and then full
No.
time since 2013. So,
Yeah,
I
no, I was
learned a
still in
little.
high school. I was still in high school.
Yeah, I was graduating college in 2006. I started my first business a year before I graduated in 2005, and that was my first business. And as long as you like, what I'm saying, you learn that one when you start a business, a lot of people they'll get wrapped up in that's my first business and blah 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 and all this stuff, whatever. It's like my baby. Uh, I'm like it's easy to let go of that and start another one. I'm like, and then what you put into it, is what you get out of it. And that's why I like to tell folks: the more you invest in your business and invest in yourself and your craft, the more you're going to get out of it. Like going next month will be 6 years of me doing this podcast,
That's
and it
pretty
started
cool.
with just audio. Now it's a multi-tiered platform because not only is it audio, there's video, there's also the app and a radio station. So it's like all these different levels of stuff and like a whole lot of reach. Not the biggest, but also not the smallest either.
Yeah.
I think last year I looked at my final numbers just on Facebook alone, over 40,000 watch minutes
Oh
within the
wow.
calendar year. Yeah. Now, if you want to put that in perspective of like my business page, Make That Radio Show can monetize on Facebook in 2 out of 5 categories. To qualify to like get the ads where they run on inside the video, I have to hit 600,000 watch minutes within 2 months, so 60 days. So let's taking that 40,000 over the course of a whole year and
And then
condensing
bring.
it into 2 months and adding 20 more thousand, or me actually multiple, that's about a 12 multiple, getting 600,000. So people don't realize, because it used to be 60,000, right? And then Facebook upped it. Um, so like I try to tell people, like, creating your platforms, and even with your platform, sure, you're on like Instagram and things of that nature. You can monetize your platforms once you have a fan base, regardless of how big it is, without having to think about the qualifications that you it would take you to get the traditional money from the distribution of your platform. So like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they all have certain parameters for them to place ads on your stuff. But you can do your own ads. You can, because you have an audience, and as long as you have the insights and analytics and look at that information, it opens up the parameter for a lot of different things. Um, so as far as like making the jewelry, things of that nature, doing the artwork, like, do you actually go through and I guess like quantify what people like, as far as like, are you tracking like, what's the best type of jewelry that sells, and which pieces really resonate with folks and sell?
Yeah, I got some earrings that say dope because I say that word a lot. So I ended up finding
Mm-hmm.
earrings that actually say dope. And out of
Mm-hmm.
all my earrings, so those are the ones that sell like the most. And then I think like secondly, since I got into putting more abstract art on my earrings, those have been
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like a top seller when I go out to vending events. But it's usually like when I do events and it's like a lot of like people from out of town and stuff, people like
Mm-hmm.
abstract things and everything. So I'm able to sell like my big earrings or like the ones I have on now. These are tester. I
Mm-hmm.
fabric wrap these just to see. So, but like as of right now, my stone bracelets and my dope earrings
Mm-hmm.
are my top seller on my jewelry.
That's what I said. So do you have a website and things as well where people can go and like check out the work that you've had and what are willing to do as far as art?
Yes, my website is theheartofgeorgia.work. I do have to update it. I just got some new information today on adding stuff to my website from someone, so I am gonna update it. But yeah, that's my website.
The Heart of Georgia.
Yeah, the heart of Georgia that
Okay.
word. I did the play on
Now,
Macon because I'm from Macon.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's what I was going to ask. Where you originally from, Macon?
Yeah,
So I guess did school take you to South Carolina? Is that why you ended up going there?
absolutely not. The very first time I came to South Carolina, my mama said I need to get out of Bloomfield and get out of trouble. Hated Charleston the first time I came because I didn't want to be here. I
uh,
felt like it was forced upon me, and I didn't have a choice to be here. So I came
yeah.
here. You know, I just came, and but that was the first time I actually did poetry on stage, and I enjoyed it. So I decided to come back to Charleston to
Mm-hmm.
do my poetry full time, and I was just like, I just figure it out from there because I mean I fell in love with Charleston, the history here, the art here, the people. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I met some really really dope people here, and
Yeah.
it was people that were into the art stuff that I'm into, that like what I like. And I feel like I had to grow up in a different way here because I ended up going through stuff here. So it was just like I had to grow up. Like I was grown, when I left, but I still had to grow up here in different ways. And so I came back to Charleston because I appreciated Charleston a little bit more because of the growth I
Mm-hmm.
had here.
So how is the art scene, whether it be photography, art pieces, visual, custom jewelry, things of that nature? Is it a developing scene? Is it more people? 'Cause I imagine that the city is probably like sort of like making. Is it predominantly black?
Charleston is I would say it's a mix, but in my eyes, I feel like Charleston is just like, I mean, it's literally where people got off the ship here, where black people were brought here, where the slave trade was here. So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of black history here. They fought on the battery, the Civil War. So the art here is very pro-black. Is very cultural. It's a lot of artists here. Like I was a part of the Moja Arts Festival, which is a huge festival here in Charleston where it shows the different cultures of the Gullah
Mm-hmm.
Geechee nation. And I work with different people like Queen Quet and Elder Carly Town. So it's just like to come here to see the sweet bass grass, the sweet bass baskets being made, and to just see how the culture is still being held here. Like it's like I'm so proud to be black and to be in Charleston. I feel like it's like the Charleston Renaissance, and to be a part of it, I'm proud. Like
Hmm.
I love it. I think with Macon having the musical history in Charleston, having the black history that it has, to be in the mix of both of them, like it's the best of both worlds. And I can take the knowledge from my hometown and the stuff I'm learning here and do what I'm doing.
So, how far do you like vend when you do vend with your business? Do you just stay locally there in Charleston, or do you travel the state of South Carolina, or do you go out of state?
So I am opening up to try to travel more. I have traveled like between Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina so far are the only
Okay.
places I have traveled to vend. I've done poetry in a little bit more places, so I want to kind of like broaden, you know, I guess my
Hmm.
horizons to go out different places. So it was stuff that I had to take care of. Like I had to finally get my license because, the state of Georgia said it's a privilege to drive, and when you get in trouble, they snatch it. But I finally got one, so now I can get a car and I can travel and do
Yeah,
stuff. Like so, I'm open to it. I've been invited to a lot of different places. My artwork has been sold in different places like Maryland and also Connecticut, but I haven't been there, and my goals are to go there also.
that's dope though. There's been sold in other places that you have not been. That means people are connecting with your art and what you have to offer.
Yeah.
Do you feel that what I'm saying you price your stuff accordingly to how you value it, or like, how do you determine that?
Well, when it comes
Hmm.
down to that, I have no idea. So I like have different videos and different things I've watched to try to kind of tell me how to value my art, but I don't know because sometimes, like, I don't know, I give away art, I give away a lot of stuff, like a whole lot of stuff. And I know people are like, how are you making a living if you're giving away so much stuff? But I am absolutely blessed. So
Hmm.
sometimes I just, if you like it that good, like, I mean, I would give it to you. I put a price tag on it. Um, just because I need to make money. But for the most part, it
Hmm.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just my talents, and I'm putting it out there. Like, hey, if the
Yeah.
price is good, they pay for it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then sometimes I feel like, man, I probably should have charged more. Like they jumped on it too fast, and I'm like,
Hmm.
but I don't feel like I'm losing out in any
Yeah.
way. I've never felt like I've taken a loss with my art. I feel like the value of it, like when people send me pictures or videos and how they have it in their home and how they appreciate it,
Hmm.
like that makes me feel good more than anything. Like when I put like I am on the artwork and I put the powerful words around it when it's going in somebody's house, it's to inspire them. And I don't really think you can put a price on that. Like I don't
Hmm.
really know how to, I don't know. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard to put a price on it. So I like even I do like payment plans, all kind of stuff, like, whatever it is, because I know I need to pay my bills,
Hmm.
but I also know people need to be inspired. And art is a way to inspire because it's art therapy for me too.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you need an art manager, or business
I
art
probably do.
manager.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing I do need a manager or
Yeah, but
someone
you
who
got to find the right person though. You got to find someone who understands business and they understand creativity
yeah.
and know how to handle the two. It's a delicate balance in doing it, and not everybody who's business oriented understands creative. Like I get
That's
along with a
funny.
lot of
I like the
creatives.
only person that just popped up in my mind is Lisa Gonzalez. Like she's the only person that popped up in my mind just now. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
so you just got to find someone. You have to find that person who's like that hybrid between both worlds because that'll be the best uh, person to do stuff with and going forward and using your time as an investment catapulting and pushing your brand and your career and things of that nature. Um, so as far as using your talent, what do you like to apply it more in? Do you feel you're concentrated more in doing photography or painting or making jewelry and things of that nature, or you feel like it's a balance in between all?
I think it's a balance of all. But more than anything, I'm a poet. Like I'm a
Okay.
poet. I push my poetry because
Hmm.
that's like I feel like that's my purpose. That's my thing. Like I
Hmm.
know my artwork is just as powerful, but more than anything, like I push my poetry. Um, I
So have
sometimes
you
I
recorded your poetry to where people can you sell it to them?
Yeah, I'm actually on all streaming platforms. I have a
Okay, that's
couple of
what's up.
features and stuff, and like my latest one is called 7 Moments.
Hmm.
And I got beats and stuff from Beats by Seven, different, different things. So I do have three of them out already. It was produced by a girl up here named Kay Light. She's a great friend of mine. And
Hmm.
the first one was by a guy named Jay Brown. And I work with different people in the community to get like my beats and different stuff. So I
Hmm.
do have it. I just
So
kind of
what do
trying to
you
produce it.
perform it under Georgia
Georgia
Nubia or
Nubia, yeah.
okay? Okay, so let me ask you this. So since you write poetry and you put it to production, so therefore it's considered a composition. Are you registered like as a songwriter with like a PRO performance right organization?
Is it like on the BMI thingy?
Yeah, VMI and ASCAP or
Yes.
CSET. Okay,
Yeah.
so are you registered under? So I assume you're under BMI since that's the one you said first.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I know about. That's the one I was told about. Like Lisa told me about it, and Hezzy the kid
Hmm.
told me about it. So that's the one I went to.
Okay, now because I do music and I help independent artists with that aspect of their career. So do you have both sides of the composition registered, meaning that
Probably
you have
not.
your publishing entity and you have your songwriting name?
Probably not. No, I don't think
Okay,
no.
well, go ahead. I'm go ahead and give you some game.
Okay,
You got
I'm gonna
to
write it
make sure you
down.
register. Uh huh. Go ahead. Yeah, get that notepad. I love when people have notepads. To me, that it shows that you want to learn and that you're
I
willing
do.
to, take your career to the next level and really start to give back what you put into it. You have to register. You have to register both sides. So it sounds like you are and I can look it up later. But you sound like you're a songwriter. So you can do Georgia Nubia Publishing as your publishing entity. Reason being is because when your song streams, you get your songwriting mechanical royalty because you are the songwriter. Only half of that is paid to you directly. The other half is paid to your music publisher. So the
It's
mechanical
on
royalty rate
both.
is 9.1 or 9.3 or something. I can't remember the new laws. It's going to go up, but let's just say it's a dime, right? For simplicity reasons and math, you would only get 5 cents because you're missing out on the other half. And with you being your own publishing entity, then you're entitled up to 85% of the 10 cents. So like seven and a half, eight, no, eight and a half. Yeah, that's it's like 8.5. So you're missing out on the other half of your money because your distributor for administration rights, they're going to collect that other part and they'll take off their normal 15% fee for that. But the composition is still yours. I'm like you're just allowing them to administratively collect that money because you have to do it yourself as your own publishing entity. But you have to set the name up though so you can get all of your money. And then when you register it under your publishing entity, you don't have to go back into your songwriting side and add it to the discography. It'll pop over there anyway because they're connected.
Cool. So I go
Yes,
back.
a lot of
Back
artists, when I
to
go
that.
through discographies and I'm looking like split sheets and things of that nature, they miss out on it. And if you, who'd you use your distributor for your poetry?
Distro Kid.
Okay. It's good that you use DistroKid. I have not heard things about them, but I have seen where like TuneCore
Yeah, it
will
was TuneCore or Distro
they
Kid,
will
and I
they
use
will and if you do the publishing administration for TuneCore, what they do is they'll go in and they'll register your stuff, but they'll put it under TuneCore like beta or TuneCore alpha or whatever the case may be. Therefore, taking the other half of your money when they should only be getting 15% because you're paying them to be an administrator, not paying them and giving away your composition.
ooh,
Yeah. Hmm.
ooh.
And then you also got to do Sound Exchange and Music Reports Inc. and Harry Fox Agency. So the more you push your poetry, the more it gets out there, the more money is coming back to you. Another thing is creatives and artists and songwriters who say that they don't get big publishing checks, especially the ones that are signed for majors. And they say like streaming doesn't pay. Streaming does pay. Um, it's just that it's not paying them because they have sucky deals with their labels. as an independent artist and you start to stream, and I'm talking about when it gets up there, like, 100,000, 300,000, a million, whatever the case may be, oh, you start to make some money. And you start to get the bulk lion shares of the pie because all your stuff is set up correctly, and you're not splitting it with the record label. Now, of course, you still got to put in the work to get it to that point or whatever. But that's one of those things. Like if you have an album, poetry album that goes platinum, you would make so much money. It will be ridiculous the amount of money you would make. But if you're not set up properly, you're not going to make that money, and they're not going to go back and pay you. So before you put out your next piece, make sure you have
Sure.
everything
Got it.
set up properly.
Got it.
And that is my free game for this particular interview.
Received. Got it.
Oh. So, do you set goals for your business, or do you just allow it to grow organically?
A little bit of both. Like for some reason this time around, I noticed that I like my goals that I had been writing down. I've accomplished all of them
Mm-hmm.
except one, which is getting a car. So that's my next. That's the only goal I haven't accomplished. So now I'm kind of like trying to I guess set more like higher goals for
Mm-hmm.
myself. And now with me being like doing it full time, I do have money goals, like monetary goals that I'm setting that I want per month, or
Mm-hmm.
different things that I want per week, so that I can see it come in. So yeah, I do
Yeah.
have different like business goals and personal goals.
Now, some business game for you. You having an LLC, regardless of you being in the state of South Carolina, you can still get your car and insurance and all that and put it up on your business and therefore write it off.
Yeah, Mr.
Especially if
Goodman
it's
told me
effective.
that.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
then
a
you can
guy
also
named
get
Daryl
business credit
Goodman.
too. You can establish business credit as well. So
Hmm.
you,
He
you
definitely
got
told
your
me to come see
EIN.
him.
You got your EIN for your business and DUNS number.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and start. You got a business bank account.
Hmm.
Okay. Just, making sure you know because some
Yeah, I
people out
got
here
that.
doing business and they don't be doing business inside of a business bank account.
No, I got,
Um,
yeah.
and then depending on the state as well, you might have to do like a resolution for the LLC, but I have not looked up South Carolina. I know in Georgia it's not really required. And that's basically having an official seal, issuing yourself, I'm saying, official certificate, things of that nature. So in the event that you have to go to court or whatever, then you can
Yeah, they
speak
give
on
you a
behalf of the
certificate.
business. Okay. So yeah, so you go ahead and like, set up because I'm like you moving around and everything, all the gas and all that stuff. I'm like, that's all tax deductible. Uh, Everything that, takes up time and, even when you give art away, you should invoice it as a donation, and that way you can write it off. Um, that way, whatever you feel the value was, or whatever, you just sign off on it, and then
Hmm.
you have record of it. Then
Hmm.
it actually counts for you. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that
yeah.
at
hmm
all. Like, oh
Yep.
wow, at all.
Businesses can make donations and stuff, whether it be to individuals or to nonprofits and things of that nature.
Hmm. Second thing on radar,
Yeah.
art donations.
Uh huh. Yeah. So have you
Yeah.
thought about like doing classes and stuff?
Well, I've been asked to do different classes. And so like right now I teach creative writing to homeschool children on Thursdays. I'm in a 6 week program that I do with the Glow program here, and I did
hmm
after school programs here in Charleston. But as far
hmm
as teaching adults and doing classes with adults, I haven't.
hmm
Um
Are those paid opportunities for teaching the kids?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They are. The first
Okay.
one was like a trial to see, so, but
hmm
and that was like my way to give community service. But after that, I'm getting paid to go and teach them, so that's
That's
fun.
what's up. Yeah.
But
No, I'm saying even if it wasn't paid, you can still write that off too. Because it's considered, donating your time on behalf of your business. So yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I'm loving it. You got a lot of different things you can do. To where I mean, you can really take it to like the next level if you wanted to hit goals where you bring other people in, because at some particular point, the more you do it, the more consistent you are, the more you're going to appeal to folks. You'll get to a position where you got to make a decision. Do I stay and plateau the business and just secure the income that I want monthly? Or do I actually invest more into the business to where I grow it and now I have to bring staff? Whether it be like, administrative staff, or it be other creatives, and then they create up under the business, and what they create is, technically works for hire, because you're employing them. And then you sell what it is, but they're also getting their salaries, or, hourly wage, or whatever the case may be, however you do it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot of different ways for that. Um, how has the pandemic affected business, or has it affected business at all?
I mean, honestly, it helped
Hmm.
in a lot of ways. Like I'm like, dang, thank you, pandemic. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I
Yeah.
dropped my second book in 2020 and I sold out of the book like twice. I keep selling out of that book. I'm sold out of it right now. Like, but so far I think with people, so many people being at home and so many people being able
Hmm.
to see, you know, me on social media, I guess. Like,
Yeah. And then I'm like, I get it, because I have one business, I have a hemp business, and the pandemic actually helped it, because of people being cautious of the virus and things of that nature. And we sell a lot of holistic type items like teas and stuff with like the hemp, but also elderberry, hibiscus, things of that nature.
yeah.
And people gravitate towards it, and they've been learning more because people are being more educated and are open to the information. So with the book, were those physical books you wrote, or
Yeah, complex compositions. I
okay?
released it on April 15th of 2020, and that was my second book. And I mean, it's my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie, it's still my favorite.
Yeah.
And I sold out. Like it's available on Amazon and different stuff like that. So I said
Hmm.
now, since I don't have any copies, I guess I can try to like push my Amazon numbers so
Hmm.
I can, I guess, be in the ratings of Amazon, because I know my book is there and I know it's on different platforms for selling my books. It's even on Goodreads and
Hmm.
stuff. But I also sometimes forget because I like signing the books for people and giving it to them. And when it goes through
Hmm.
Amazon, not only do they take a big portion of my money, but they also, it's not personal like that. So
Hmm. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to, as an author, you have to decide, which route you want to go, or, because you gotta be able to service the people that, what I'm saying, who are inquiring the demand or whatever. But at the
yeah,
same time, it's easier to service them through institutions that are already established and, where they're used to buying or whatever. But I'm sure, as what I'm saying, you do more in volume or whatever, then those prices probably have like different parameters where okay, you'll get bumped into a higher profit splitting percentage or whatever. Because I
hmm,
imagine that I'm sure you don't have to send the books to anything to Amazon when they sell. They print them themselves, right? Or they work with a manufacturer that print the same printing entity.
when you self-publish through Lulu, your book is
Hmm.
released through all the different distributors. You have an option to do that also. It's called global distribution.
But I'm saying, like, you don't have to get them printed on your end and absorb that
No,
cost.
because it
Lulu
no, it goes
absorbs that
straight through.
cost.
It goes straight through
Okay.
Lulu. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
So
just
that's
give me
that's what
money.
it
I get
is.
royalties from it. That's
Yeah.
why I tell
So
people
yeah.
it's free. Like book money is free. It's absolutely free. You literally can publish your book and then just push it on all the other platforms, and you just gotta wait on your money, or you can
Hmm.
push it and let your pre-sales pay for your books and stuff. Like my book money is really like really great money.
Yeah. That's dope. Where's the furthest place that you know that your book was sold?
Um, Let me think. I have sold my books in Texas.
Yeah. What's up?
I know it was Texas, Maryland, like I said, Connecticut, Alabama. I sold a book in Vegas to a
Hmm.
girl that lived in Alabama. That was pretty cool to do. I did poetry on the strip in Vegas. I just did it because I wanted to do it. I was like, it's
Hmm.
a goal. I'm gonna do it. So I did it. But I ended up selling a book to a girl in Alabama. So that was really cool to do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think Vegas might be because I also have a friend in Vegas that purchased a book, and that's where he is. So I don't know. I never thought about that part, but yeah,
But that's dope though. That means that you're making progress and you're reaching people way
yeah,
outside. I'm saying the market that you actually live in. So which is dope
yeah.
because those people go and talk and things of that nature. As long as you keep pushing things, you're gonna keep growing. So that's fantastic. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
So for everybody out there who's going to catch this interview, let them know how can they get in contact with you. What's the best way they can see your work, go buy the book if they want to, things of the nature. Follow.
I would say the best way to find me would be I guess social media a lot. My Facebook is Georgia Nubia. And my Instagram is Georgia_Nubia. You can go on my website. It's www.theheartofgeorgia.work. My email is georgianubia7, the number 7, at gmail.com. So you can email me, you can inbox me, DM me, all of that good stuff. Like, I'm kind of easy to find.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate Jeremy making the connection, things of that nature. I wish you much, much, much more success. And,
Thank
go
you.
ahead and follow up on those gems.
I am.
Because the next time I talk to you, I'm going to ask you.
Next time we talk, I promise you, not only will it be on a bigger level, but I will also have all of my stuff together. I got help out here, people willing to help me, so I just gotta reach
That's
out to
what's
them.
up. As long as you got the help, you're going to be fine. And,
Yeah,
with your personality and with your drive and things of that nature, I don't see where, what I'm saying, failure is. Well, like I said, failure is just not accomplishing anything. Um, failure is not trying to me, whatever. So I believe you'll hit your goals and things of that nature. And, you got a great trajectory. So
thank you.
you're welcome. And I'll let you get back to it. And, I'll definitely check out your stuff. And, and anytime you want to post something, you can post on the Facebook page and you can tag the Instagram page as well. I'll see you that info and, I don't mind resharing.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate this interview. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're
And tell
welcome. And
Jeremy
make go.
that's listen.
Uh
People
huh.
do need to shot with Jeremy Coleman because I feel like he is the goat of photography. Like my cousin is fire.
Yeah.
Like yes,
I know he is, and he's making a name for himself, and we're gonna do some
yeah.
stuff in the future. And that was his second interview that we did. I think his first one we did back in 2018 or 2019. I can't remember.
I
But
mean,
it was
coming from Southgate, it's a couple of people you can pick through our family and see some dopeness sprinkled through there. We're pretty dope as a family.
that's what's up. And
Yeah,
yeah, I might even do some type of collaboration and things of that nature
yeah.
that you can
I'm
put out and
always
all
down.
that. So I'm looking forward to seeing just how everybody grows, and I love the support. So keep doing what you're doing, and like I said, we'll link up again and do another interview.
Yes,
Sure, I might even what I'm saying, depending on when it is, I might even come up there. 'Cause I plan on traveling this year and going out and
you should.
interviewing
We do
people and.
a we do a monthly poetry show here at a spot called 787. It's called For the Love
Hmm.
of Poetry. You should come check it out. It's me, my friend Nadine, and Brianna Simone. You should definitely come check us out. I think we some pretty dope poets, and there's some other poets that come out. Native Words. A
Hmm.
girl came out this past time. Her name was Brittany. Like they're really dope. So you should come out and check out the scene in Charleston.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. So I'll put that on my list. You know what I'm saying? I probably when it gets warmer and stuff, I like to travel when it's warmer.
Yeah, or actually, if you're into music, you should come check out the Meeting of the Minds. It's an event we
Hmm.
do here with Colors to Network, man. It's the second Sunday of the month. Meeting of the Minds is indie artists here in the city that perform, and that's a really great show. Like, yeah, I can't even start naming people because I know I'm gonna forget some people, but
Yeah.
like, it's a lot of people you should probably just come check out Charleston for a week or two. I promise you, you'll enjoy it. You'll find something you'll like.
All right, I appreciate that. And I'll take you up on that offer. And like I said, I appreciate the time. And I'll go ahead and get this. I'm gonna start editing this, and I don't think I sent you over the flyer. I'll send you over the flyer, and I'll be able to post this about sometime next week.
Okay,
All righty, and you have a good one, man.
you too. Peace.
All right.